Hi guys, welcome to episode 15 of the One Car Junkyard. My name is Joe and I want to thank everybody for the support. Trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. We're on our way, getting a lot of really cool comments from people all over the world, and I really appreciate it. So what do we have today? Something we have today is really out of the ordinary, and I've done this type of work before, but this one isn't, I think, for somebody who's not brave or the faint of heart, because what we have here is a Volvo 10,000 gallon aircraft fuel truck. This truck comes with a lot of interesting things about it. It's a very complicated piece of equipment, and it comes with its own set of issues when you have to process it. Where did I get this thing? Well, we are really close to an airport. I mean, really close. You probably heard the planes fly over. One of our old customers said, Joe, we got to get this thing off the field. It's too much to maintain, and it isn't smog compliant anymore, and it's just worn out. It's served its purpose, and when you process something like this, it has its own set of challenges, and we can talk about that. But first, let's talk a little about the truck itself and how cool it is actually. So this truck is on a Volvo cabin chassis, along with the other the lifts and other pumps and everything. And it's a run and driving truck. It's got a 6-cylinder turbocharged engine, diesel of course. And these things have a lot going on with them. What it carries is, this is the UN code 1863 Jet A turbine fuel, aircraft fuel, and that's what this thing carries. If you notice, the exhaust system exit at the front of the truck. They run the exhaust system to the front of the truck, so it's not in the back where they're fueling the aircraft. And so that's just one of the little quirks and safety features of this truck. This here is it's a lift, and what it does is it lifts up to the bottom of the wing, bottom of the aircraft, and this is the nozzle right here where the technician plugs it into the fuel tank. A lot going on. I see a chain drive in here, a lot of hydraulic components that lift that cage up to the wing. If you notice the blue sensors up here, well, that one's blue. There's a sensor on every corner of the cage there. That's a safety measure, so you don't run the lift up into the wing of the aircraft. Okay. You'll see stuff on YouTube where there's mishaps with this type of stuff. There's a lot going on at the ramp when they're trying to turn an aircraft around. So here's the hose reel button. This is a 10,000 gallon tank, and if you've ever seen like a wide body jet like a 747 or a 777, you literally need 4 of these to fuel the aircraft up so they can get it from, say, the west coast of the United States to Asia. 40,000 gallons at least to get a jumbo jet across the ocean to deliver their passengers. There's all kinds of really cool metal on these things. See the stainless steel and the cast aluminum. This thing will recycle very well. Here's a big filter right here. So that's a big solid aluminum filter, and we got the tank itself. The thing about this thing is, most of the time when we want to scrap a vehicle, we'll just run it over to the scrapyard. Well, any scrapyard that sees this coming, they're going to give you a hard no. They don't want it in there unless certain requirements are met. And the requirements for this one are, you got to remove the fuel tank, and you've got to drain it and vent it, so that when it gets over to the scrapyard, when they hit it with the shear and start chopping it up, it doesn't spark and then blow the yard up, which has happened a couple times. This tank is actually held on to the frame with all these high quality nuts and bolts. I don't know, there must be a couple hundred of them. But we're taking our time getting this stuff off so that we can remove the tank and then recycle it itself. As we're getting it ready to process, there's all this beautiful aluminum these are the I think these are the intake hoses. Yeah, these are the intake hoses for when you get the fuel out of the underground tank to fill this up, to then take it out to the aircraft. Now, I know some of you guys are brave out there and you might want to take a shot at recycling something like this, but I've got some heavy duty insurance. The yard here is actually zoned for this type of stuff. And we even went to the next step to park it next to the wall where there's a street on the other side, so in case it does catch on fire, the fire department, all they got to do is pull up to the street and start squirting water on it. But that's not going to happen here. Okay, we handle business correctly. So let's go around here and take a peek. So there's so many nice, beautiful aluminum components on this truck. Here are the fenders. Nice, beautiful cast aluminum that'll really pay well when we get it over the scale. And as you can see here, there's so much to this truck. This is how they drain any contaminants out here. This is the filter for the fuel, because you don't want to put contaminated fuel in an aircraft. It's not good at all. You got the dates when it needs to be changed and things of that nature. This is how the fueling technician would enter the cage to get up there. So when the fueler is filling the aircraft, he's got to give some really special information to the pilot so he can factor it into his flight control computer. Now, something really interesting happened in the 80s. When this thing is operating, the data is going to be in gallons. Okay, but in 1983, I think it was, Air Canada was operating a new Boeing 767 that the flight management was all set up in liters. Okay, so they filled the plane up, and there was some miscommunication between if gallons went in, the flight control computer had wrong data in it. There was just a comedy of errors, and they were at about 41,000 feet over the Canadian Rockies, and they ran out of gas. And so they had to land at an old Air Force base in the prairie out in Canada somewhere. And that's called the Gimli glider. It's kind of a cool story if you want to YouTube it. It's called GIMLI, the Gimli glider. Really good, really cool story. And it's some great piloting too. Saved a lot of lives. These are the data plates for the tank. And I got to tell you, you know why the U.S. is so badass? Because we got the best craftsmen. Look at those welds, okay? These guys really took pride in their work. Made a good product, and that's probably why it's lasted 25 years. This will be separated from the truck, and this will be run over the scale. I think we're gonna get 30 cents a pound for this. So it's very interesting to see what we're gonna get. And then once we get the tank off, then we'll have the guys separate as much as this aluminum, and then we'll run the rest over the scale. This type of project is better left to the pros, if you want to call me that. Okay, guys, you got to remember that this thing, how we say in the U.S., was rode hard and put away wet. That's an old cowboy term. I mean, this thing was just worked till the wheels came off. So this is where the guys did their job. But yeah, this is a working truck, and they worked it till they wound up over here, So there's all kinds of switches and PTOs and safety lockouts and everything else. I have no idea how that works, but I know there's plenty of you guys that do, and you guys can make some comments to tell me what I don't know about this truck, which is a lot. Thanks for watching episode 15 of the One Car Junkyard. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. This is kind of an oddball, but we take what we can get here. This is kind of like the school buses, but I thought you guys might want to geek out on it or whatever. It's kind of cool in its own way. But really appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. Thanks, everybody.